Cheers, folks. It is, March is over. It is now April 1st. I, for one, will tell you that this is no time for April Fool's jokes. Ain't nothing funny about the 1st of this April. So, I won't be participating in any April Fool's bullshit. These are some serious times, you know. The shit is about to really hit the fan for a lot of people here with rent, mortgages, and all kinds of payments due. Let's see how this rolls out. There's all kinds of talk in the news, It'd be great, in my opinion, if, for number one, they lift sanctions in the Middle East. Lift the sanctions. Erase the student debt. College debt, erase it. Defer insurance payments. Defer. Some of it I'd erase. I think there's big parts of debt that really, well, those people have enough. They're so rich, they don't need this money. Erase the debt. Let's see how this rolls out. If we respond to this virus responsibly, then we won't have to have calamity. But I do see the potential for calamity because of the conflict between economic interests and human. That's what I see. So, I'm glad you all enjoyed the guitar music. I may do some more. I do appreciate the comments. I don't practice. What you heard is, you hear those fluff notes. It's because I don't practice. I just pick it up and play. The other thing is some people have tried to cite some references of other guitar players. I don't try to play like anyone, never did. Listen to me, and I sound like me. I don't sound like anyone. You can maybe hear a bit of a reference here and there. Someone said Bowie. Bowie doesn't play lead guitar. So, you're talking about Mick Ronson? I just showed you Leslie West. He was my guitar hero as a boy, not Eric Clapton. Jimi Hendrix was too. I don't sound like Leslie West. I've never tried to sound like anyone. I'm really proud of that. It also is why I'm very solid in my opinion about music, is because unlike a lot of music critics who can't play a note, I can. So a lot of times I know the difference. So thank you for the feedback. We've lost another musician to Corona. Wallace Roney, the jazz trumpeter. I don't have any of his solo albums, but it brought to mind this album because I'll never forget when this first came out in, I think it was 1989. This is Akiko Yano, one of my favorite vocalists. She's from Japan. For a time, she was married to Ryuichi Sakamoto. And this is, I want to get the date right on this because I've been following these folks for a long time. 1989. This is called Welcome Back by Akiko Yano. This is badass. Not only does she have Wallace Roney on here, but Peter Erskine on drums, Charlie Hayden on bass, and Pat Metheny on guitar. But back when that came out, myself and a couple of good friends of mine who are passed, unfortunately, God bless Kevin, he's gone, big Sakamoto fan along with me and Akiko Yano. So when this came out, we special ordered it from Japan, and we were both knocked out at the fantastic arrangements of the music, the jazziness. And then when Wallace comes in on his solo on the song Hard Times, no. Well, it's in Japanese on here, but it's like his solo takes this record to another level. Rest in peace, Wallace. There's more people all the time. This is some serious shit, people, so we just have to batten down the hatches and just ride this out. It is interesting how this is playing out because there is a disparity between how this can be handled by people with money and poor people. And the main thing I'm saying about that is proximity. A lot of people who are poor are crowded into spaces where they don't have the luxury of space. And that's really unfortunate. I've been observing my neighborhood. The people across the street that I disparage, you know. And I love them, but they got it coming because they act like hillbillies. Apparently, it appears that some member of their extended family is homeless and they're living in their car in front of the house with 2 pit bulls and a little boy. I don't quite understand why they're living in the car in front of the house. It's none of my business, but today is going to be a warm day, so I don't know what to expect, but I imagine there's going to be another big crowd of people in that front yard not practicing social distancing. And, I talked about this on Facebook a couple of days ago, and a couple of people who I say are just naively white, and I don't mean that as an insult, I mean that as a description. These friends of mine were naively white by suggesting I call the police on these people. The police are the enemy, especially in the black community. I've dealt with the police on numerous occasions, and I used to do training with the police as a mental health specialist. Okay, so I've seen it from the inside too, just how racist, how badly the Midwest is polluted with racism and bigotry. And whenever I've called the police, I've lived in this house for going on 30 years. The police have always been disrespectful and full of shit when they come here. Fucking police are worse than frumpy. That's the last thing I'll say is I, as a person who has a certain amount of personal integrity, you cannot fool me with who is the president. He is a flim-flam con man. I see no integrity whatsoever. These news conferences are a farce and a sham, and it's a shame, and he's just constantly running it like he's on a fucking TV show. Do not come over here and try to justify that man's behavior in the office that he's in. This is a tragedy. It is a tragedy. So, to wrap up this short thing, I did finish up alphabetizing the runover. It's not extra, it's part of my collection, but the closet. And then I put all the classical and ethnic stuff in particular boxes, and I put those back in the closet for now. Because I wanted to see my collections, artists who I like so much that I collect more than one record. So I got those all organized in the living room so I can play them now. And while doing that, some classical stuff came out, contemporary. Mauricio Kagel, 1898. This is really cool, where it's about these ancient it's about these instruments that were made for a time, and using them along with children's voices, not a choir. And this is cool because he states in here that he used just plain kids from a school to catch the innocence as opposed to a trained voice. And it's interesting how by doing that, some of the time when the laughter of the kids, it's disturbing, it's interesting. I find it very interesting, that contrast. What else? Here's one that came out of the closet. I just played it because it's feel-good music. Gene Harris, Nexus. Funky keyboardist. Do y'all know about Gene Harris? People seem to know about Lonnie Liston Smith, but Gene Harris is in the same box. Charles Erlin. Do you guys know these people? This is history, y'all. Okay. Blue Note. Good album. Okay. One other thing I'll show is I didn't play it, but I see that my great nephew, one of them, Devani, out in California, he's a model. He and his twin brother are models, professional models, and they're just dynamite people, and they're getting into music. And on his Instagram, I saw where he posted one of the Orbs records, and I said, "That's my boy. That's my people. Hell yeah!" So I just posted this to let him, just to vibe with him. I haven't played it, but this is the longest Blue Room, longest single in history. What is it? 40 minutes long. Okay. Once again, I'm still smiling. I went to bed last night at about 9:30. I got up this morning at about 8. I got up as I usually do, but I'm sleeping. I'm not full of anxiety. I'm so happy that I have been looking at the world with a laser, and I've been seeing this shit coming since I was a kid. Let me share this. I would have this recurring dream, and then I'd have these, what you would call visions, of the breakdown, in particular of America. And I could see the seeds of the breakdown would be civil unrest based on something economic. I've been seeing this since I was a kid in dreams. And as I got older, I would think to myself, man, this could happen in my lifetime. I don't want it to, but I can really see the seeds of this coming to fruition much quicker than the world thinks it is. And right now, the way that we're dealing with this pandemic, which is life-changing, this is where we're at. And how we deal with this, we may come out the other side intact, or this could be us going down in flames for a long time. So that's why I'm not all anxious and stressed out and needing to binge watch TV and just being absorbed with stupid monkey mind thoughts about, I wish this, I wish that, and it could be, Am I being insensitive? No, I'm kind of using my mouth as a foot boot to the head, which is, demand more of yourselves, people. Stop being spineless jellyfish. The real challenge is mental, besides the behavior that we do. Get your monkey fucking minds together. And stop being such spoiled fucking babies. We'll get through this. But a lot of y'all need to grow up, don't you? I accept responsibility for my behaviors. So you folks that haven't been following me or don't know me, that get triggered by this and want to get mad, I ain't the one, because I'm just like you, trying to fix my wagon, okay? I'm not pointing the finger. I'm in that. I'm in this mess too. Okay?